Hello friends, my name is Karamo Biture, a second year student in physiotherapy bachelor. In our today's presentation, we will be looking at progressive resistance exercises. But before we start, there are important terminologies for us to put into consideration when we are dealing with progressive resistance exercise, which one of them are strength, power, and endurance. First of all, what is strength? We said strength is the ability of a contractile tissue to produce tension and resultant force based on the demands placed on the muscle. The greater measurable force that can be exerted by a muscle or a group of muscle to overcome a resistance during a single maximum effort. So this still will be the strength of the muscle. Is the ability to contractile tissues to produce a tension. Number 2, strength training. We said strength training, this is defined as a systematic procedure of a muscle or muscles group, lifting, lowering, or controlling heavy loads, resistant for a heavily relative number of repetitions over a short period of time. For example, when you are exercising with a dumbbell, will increase the strength of elbow flexors. So, when you are performing strength training, it should be for a short period of time and the number of repetitions should be low. The next one is power. Power is the rate of performing work. The rate at which a muscle contracts and produces a resultant force, and the relationship of force and a velocity are factors that affect muscle power. So, work produced by a muscle per unit of time, that is power. And I repeat, work produced by a muscle per unit of time, that is power. So what is power training? The greater the intensity of exercise and the shorter the time period taken to generate a force, the greater is the muscle power. So if we are increasing the intensity of the exercise and we are given less time to do the exercises, then the muscle power will increase. Next one is endurance. What is endurance? Endurance is the ability to perform low intensity repetitively or sustain activities over a prolonged period of time. Note, if a person is able to do an exercise for a prolonged period of time, that will be considered as endurance. So cardiopulmonary endurance, also known as total body endurance, is associated with repetitive exercises in nature or dynamic motor activities. Examples of these activities are walking, cycling, swimming, upper extremity ergometry. It involves the use of large muscle groups of the body. So muscle endurance, which is sometimes referred to as local endurance, is the ability of a muscle to contract repetitively against a load or resistance. It generates and sustains tensions and resists fatigue over an extended period of time. So as you can see in this image, these athletes are running a marathon. So marathon running can be an example of endurance activity or exercise, because in marathon, athletes have to run for a longer duration of time. So therefore, marathon running is an example or can be a typical example of endurance activity. Next is endurance training. And what is endurance training? It is characterized by having a muscle contract and lift or lower light load for many repetitions or sustain a muscle contraction for extended period of time. When you are doing endurance training, the key elements to observe are low intensity of the muscle contraction, or intensity of the exercise should be low, and a large number of repetitions and a prolonged period of time. When we talk about progressive resistance exercises, there are principles that we have to put into consideration. One of them are overload principle. We said overload principle, this is a load that exceeds the metabolic capacity of a muscle must be applied. That is, the muscle must be challenged to perform a level greater than that of which it is accustomed. This means that if you can lift 1 kg dumbbell and continue with that capacity of your muscle, the power of the muscle will not increase. For example, a schedule should be drawn for oneself or by the trainer to the trainee. Week 1 kg dumbbell, and the next week supposed to move with 5 kg dumbbell. As you can see in this picture, progressive overloading means gradually increasing the resistance or the weight. Progressive loading of a muscle by manipulating the intensity or the volume of the exercise. So what is the meaning of intensity of exercise? Intensity of the exercise resistant exercise refers to how much weight or resistance is imposed on the muscle. Example, 1 kg dumbbell, 2 kg dumbbell, 3 kg dumbbell, etc. What is the meaning of the volume? Volume encompasses the variables such as repetition, set or frequencies of exercises. Example, if you are doing 10 repetitions, you can try to do 20, 30, 40 like that. In set of exercises, if you are doing 10 repetitions, you can increase 2, 3, 4 sets. Overload exercise must always be applied under the following context: the underlying pathology, age of the patient, stage of the tissue healing, fatigue, and the overall ability and a goal of the patient. The next important principle is the SAID principle. A framework of specificity is necessary foundation on which exercises programs should be built on. An extension of Wolff's law. What is Wolff's law? The body system adapts over time to the stress placed on them. I repeat, Wolff's law says the body systems adapts over time to stress placed on them. Create a specificity training affects that best meets specific functional needs and goals, or specificity of exercises. By looking at the pictures, you can see different sports. For example, football, handball, badminton, cricket, etc. Specific exercise incorporated in a program should mimic the anticipated function. Desired functional outcome is ability to ascend and descend stairs. Exercise should perform as eccentrically and concentrically in a weight-bearing pattern and progress desired speed. Carry over training effects from one variation exercises or tasks to another phenomenon is called transfer of training over flow or cross-training. Example, transfer of training also seen from extremity to contralateral side. Example, if you are exercising from right side of your body, the effects of the training will be seen in left side of your body as well. You can appreciate by looking at these different spots in the picture. Another important principle is reversibility principle. Maintenance program of resistant exercises. Detraining reflected by a reduction in muscle performance begins within a week or two after cessation of resistant exercise and continues until training effects are lost. So, to incorporate gains, strength or endurance in a daily activity, lifelong fitness program performance has to be enrolled in a lifelong exercise. If a person stops exercise, he or she will go back to normal. Again, reversibility principle can be described as process of losing fitness soon after stopping regular training or exercise. Regular training is equals to muscle bulk. If you stop training, then you are also equals to muscle bulk will also be lost. Thanks for watching. If you like this presentation, please subscribe to our channel so that we can provide you more videos.